This episode is going to be absolutely massive. In this episode, I am going to build every single thing that is still missing from the park, which is also why it's so long. But don't you worry, at the end I will give an overview of the completely finished project and I will have handed it in. So, if you're as excited for that as I am, please stick around to the end and let's get straight into it. Let's start off today's episode with organizing. And I'm gonna do that through the magic of editing. And just like that, I've organized all my points I need to do in 3 categories: must do, should do, and could do. Between the categories, these are not organized, but these are all the things that I must do before I submit the park. Because if I don't do this, there's just areas missing, or no lighting would kind of be a deal breaker. A floating track would be, well, less than optimal. Then we have the should do, like there's 2 bridges, which, I mean, they're quite obviously missing, but if I have absolutely no time, they could be excluded. Just like the pipes by the pavilion and the queues for the Gears of Fear flat ride. And then the could do some smoke effects throughout the parks, making posters that ask for volunteers for the drop tower, the names of the 2 flat rides, and the waterfall on the second turn next to the observatory. With all that being said, let's jump into the very first task. The station roof. Yay! So just like that, I have made a roof. It's nothing really special, but it's enough in case I get into serious issues with time. If not, I want to do a little more in the dome, add a little bit more of details with some iron work to outline it a bit, and maybe if I have a lot of time, hang a chandelier from the top of it. But this is at least enough in case I get into serious issues and I have to I don't have enough time to do what I want. So let's move on to the next point. So the next point is gonna be the restaurant, since backstage roofs can't be completed before some other tasks that are on here. So the restaurant, well, is very easy. Let me just show you. The restaurant's over here. As you can see, I have placed 2 two shops behind the wall, made a fake bar and added some tables and all, but it still looks a little bit empty. It's just doesn't really have a finished look to it, so I need to do a little bit more on the interior. And then of course, well, the exterior kind of also needs a little work. So, well, let's just get to that. And just like that, we have restaurant the steamed punk. Because steampunk, a lot of dishes are steamed. So, steamed punk. This is just another facade. And if you go in here, let me turn it to night because I've actually done the lighting inside already. You've got this nice interior, and I've placed some animatronics on the table to make it look a little bit more alive. I've placed a lot more pipes in here, and I have done the lighting the same way I've done the second pre-show in for the drop tower. And of course, it just has some facades that are not lit up yet. But that's gonna come. That's another point on the list. But that does mean we can cross off the restaurant. It's done. So let's get to the next point. The Plaza at the end of drop tower number 2. So this is what the Plaza looks like right now. There's a little restaurant. I've got the path, but it's empty. it doesn't really have a lot going for it. So I need something here, maybe a little bit of foliage, and here I need something. It's quite hard because the coaster is actually really close by. I have actually started doing this somewhere last week, but I wasn't happy with it, so I deleted it again. So well, let's get to it. I believe I can get this done within an hour. So that is the end of, or the end result of the Plaza at the end of the second launch. It's nothing special, but then again I'm in quite a bit of a hurry. Really quick what I did. I placed a lot of rocks. I'm planning to do that also, but I have a separate point in the list for that, of placing them all around here and all over here. But first I've placed them over here because I needed this wall, and then I placed some fences. Here there are some metal fences because, you know, if you go too far over here you fall, well, off a cliff. You don't want that. And over here there's rope fences because, well, like if you go over these fences you'll be called back, but there's nothing serious. And then I have a chain fence. You know, I've throughout the park everywhere used chains instead of ropes to signal what fences can be opened by staff with little entry sign. And then I made a path using the terraforming tool that goes toward the bridge and then towards the observatory. And of course I placed some foliage, some benches, bins, and lights. So yeah, I think with that we can say Plaza's done. Which leaves us with the pre-shows for the drop tower, and now this is a big one. And for this we'll actually have to exit Planet Coaster. So actually before we need to exit Planet Coaster I need to tell you what we're gonna do, because else it's gonna be, you know, it's not gonna make any sense. So first of all we enter this room. This room is you know, this is in the building that is the Blyborough Railway Company Research and Development you know, facility. So in here I'm gonna hang posters all around the city of, you know, like we seek volunteers to test the second gen of Hyperline technology. Hyperline is the coaster, for those of you who don't know. We need to test the second gen and we need volunteers for that. And so you go in here and there's just this generic woman kind of robot voice, you know, like the Siri voice or the Google Assistant voice, little bit like that. And she's like, welcome to our testing facility, you're gonna be, and then like a few seconds in, like the voice is gonna start to crackle a bit, and then this guy is gonna take over, and he's like, sorry to interrupt you like that, but I need you for something else. I have been building something in secret and I need test subjects for it, but nobody can ever know that it's here. So we have those two doors which are really obvious, but then this bookcase is actually one of, is it pixelated? I'm gonna put it up on the screen who it actually is, but I believe it's pixelated. This door, this bookcase is actually a door that can open. It's amazing. I'm gonna have to show it to you sometime, but not now. That would make the episode way too long. Basically, so you go here to the underground laboratory. You go through this like secret tunnel. All the way down here, and you enter the secret laboratory of this professor that has been working here. He's the head of the research and development facility. He's the head of it, he runs it, and he has made this secret laboratory for his own project, and he's building a steam-powered rocket. And in here, this is actually what I'm gonna be doing. In here I want to have an animatronic that is standing here and talking to you when you are standing here in the second pre-show area, and explains you what's gonna happen. Problem is that making an animatronic is really difficult. It takes a lot of time to model it and even more time to animate it, and the Teammaker's Toolkit has a lot of restrictions when it comes to animating. I believe you can only use 8 bones or so. So that's just not gonna be a thing. So instead what I'm gonna do and I'm really excited for this, is I'm gonna use screens. I went yesterday to like this really cheap store. I have bought myself some artifacts that look a little bit like they're out of that time, like, or out of that kind of world. And I'm gonna dress myself up as this professor that still doesn't have a name. And I'm gonna record myself, remove the background, put in this background, the backdrop in here, and yeah, just like that. You're gonna have to yeah. Well, that actually kind of speaks for itself. You're gonna see me explain to you, and then you go through this door to the launch pad, and you have like this. Oh, that looks really ugly in daylight. Wait, wait for it. There we go. And then you're gonna go to the launch pad, and then you have like this drop tower that is a rocket that is launching, and then it goes. Let's see. Let's put it today again. And this rocket launch obviously goes wrong, but you're gonna go through the roof of this tower, and that's why this roof is broken. That's the idea. So now let's jump into real life and let's do a face reveal, I guess. So, welcome to real life. Yeah, as you can see, I've got some props. Yeah, this is me. Hello. I'm not exactly hard to find. On the It's Okay to Cry Entertainment YouTube channel, my face is shown like 11 times or something. So yeah. Basically, I'm in my living room. There's this nice semi-white wall, but I can easily take that out in post-processing. And well, this is basically how I'm gonna record it. So after quickly recording it, I now have the image that I want. Let's see, and I have the video. Now the only thing I need to do is remove the background. And the way I do that is very simple actually. I have a picture of the background. Oh, wait, right there. There we go. That's just a still frame of the background. And I can just delete this picture from all the other pictures. The only hard thing about that is shadows. Okay, so things are not going to plan. I had to re-record it with a sort of homemade green screen, but it's actually like a mix between light green and light blue. And the difference in color was enough, so I am gonna be partly see-through. As you can see the books behind me and a bit of the wall pattern. But I guess right here, as you can see, that's just how it's gonna be. I'm gonna try to do it again this weekend if I have time, but this is gonna be the placeholder. Like if I don't have time, this is gonna have to be it, because it's just I've been here editing for an hour, trying hundreds upon hundreds of effects and ways to remove background, and it just doesn't work. It's so hard. So yeah, that's kind of what is happening. So I'll put this in on the screen in the attraction, and I'll show you what it looks like. For the last few years I've been looking around, where else can we go? And I found that the answer isn't on rails. No, it's up there. Okay, so that's what it looks like. I hope it doesn't record the desktop audio anymore. I should have turned it off, but yeah, something I have noticed is that audio and video on a billboard are not in sync, which is really a shame. Yeah, I'm still very happy with the end result. So when he finishes talking, this door opens, and yeah, everything works. So I have not ever seen this in another ride, I think, so I'm really happy with how this turned out. Oh, supports. Ooh. Okay, this is gonna take the rest of the day. Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. So that's finally done. Like for you it was an instant. This took 3 hours. But the entire track does now have custom supports. and it looks absolutely epic. I'm really happy. Look at this. Look at just this part of the track. I've been really careful with making sure that you can't touch any supports, but it just looks so cool. Like, I want to show you. That's how many supports. Oh Jesus, okay. I am crashing my game. Oh, there we go. That is how many supports this coaster has. 1200 hand-placed objects. So worth it. Okay. Now, that is completely done. So I can wait for the image to snap in, there we go. I can put a little X behind it. Now let's get to work on the second waiting area of Hyperline. And what do I mean by that? I mean, wait for it again, this area. So the queue goes from the station building through the subway tunnel that I'm gonna have to do next, or a few points later, into the second area, in which you're gonna have to, this is gonna be inside in the building. I'm not really sure yet. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. And then you go, of course, into the station. So, well, let's just see. I'll be back with you when I'm finished. Okay, so it's nearing midnight, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit quieter in my voice, but we have actually crossed off 2 things now. Not only is this part done, didn't really have any inspiration, so I've just themed it the same way as the station itself. Made a little hall between that and the real station. I have no real way of covering this up. It's just not beautiful. But the pathing tool doesn't work, I don't have enough time, and then you get in here. So yeah, and the other thing is this little part of the exit. That was just a piece of path, and now I've added rock works, some pipes, some supports and some lights. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing special, but it works, and it works rather well, so I'm happy. Let's wait for the image to go in, there we go. Cross the waiting area number 2, off, and then it's time to go for the subway tunnel. And the subway tunnel, let's see, the subway tunnel is this tunnel that goes right through here. So as soon as this one is done, and that's the last thing I'm gonna do before I'm going to bed, because it's, as I said before, just before midnight, then the entire queue of Hyperline is actually themed, which means there's only this queue left and the exit of the drop tower. That's it. Then all the queues and paths are done. So yeah, we're really on the home straight now. Okay, so little update. I'm not gonna do that today. I've started on it, and I'm going to do it in the style of Baker Street Station. Just had a little brain fart there. But it's this beautiful, like, brick subway station, and that's kind of what I'm gonna base it around, but I don't feel it right now. I'm really hot, I'm really tired, and I don't feel like doing this, and it's gonna turn out really bad if I'm gonna push myself into doing this. So instead of doing that, I want to get something else off the list, so I'm gonna quickly move this one. So what can we choose from? Oh, I can do this. Connect the queue to the drop tower. So basically that's a really simple task. Basically the drop tower has a queue and it has a drop tower, and they are not connected. So well, let's just do that real quick. It's gonna take like 10 minutes. So just like that, that's done. It now connects perfectly, and you will just get dropped straight into like the launch pad, I guess. So whoop, There we go. The connect queue to drop tower is done. So actually let's do those turns. Second to last turn in Hyperline and where was it? Turn into the second launch. Yes, let's start with the second launch turn. So just like that, the first turn that I said I would do is done. This is the turn into the second launch. As you can see, I've just spammed rocks basically, but of course rocks on its own isn't enough, so I've added these near miss pipes, 2 of them, and then I added some water elements that you shouldn't really get wet of this, but you know, it's just a nice effect going through the water, and then you go underneath the station into the second launch. So the other corner that I wanted to do was this one. So, oh, that's first, of course. Let's cross it off the list, because, you know, that's satisfying. So next up we're gonna do this turn. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so, well, I already showed you the first turn, but now also the second turn is done. I can't really build anything on top here because, you know, there's the park border. I've literally built this as close as I could, so I can build a facade, but then I can't build a wall because, well, the wall would stick out to the back. So yeah. But I have placed buildings on the inside to kind of make up for that, and just placed this wall. Added a bunch of pipes. They look way too low, but trust me, I have completely watched this through in slow motion. I've ridden the coaster multiple times. It's okay. It doesn't collide, and even if you stick your hands out, you can't reach it, I think. But that's not all I've done. I've also worked a lot on the path. Like the paths are not any different, but I have placed a bunch of lights, benches, some bins everywhere throughout the park. And one last thing I've done is, you can see some smoke here and there. I have added some smoke elements that are seemingly random when they go off, and some that are just standard going off, like this one, but they are a lot smaller. And added some smoke to come out of the chimneys, like here, here, and just generally in a few places you can see from the path. I've added some smoke, which means that inside of, oh, hey, my OBS is working again, like this. Inside this, inside the list, we can say, yes, we've done the second to last turn in Hyperline. We have also done the path accessories. And we have also done, oh, that was in the shoot, I think. Oh, and it could even, oh. Well, it was only 5 minutes or so work. We've added smoke effect. Let's see what I'm gonna do now. We can't do lighting yet. I should do the exit of the drop tower. I've been staring at it and it looks horrible. So yeah, let's get to that. Oh wait, I first need to show you what it looks like right now. The exit of the drop tower is currently empty. It's a single path. It goes underneath the ground. Oh Jesus, let's activate tangent cam. There we go. And it comes up here into this building right here, where it comes out to the plaza. But as you can see, I've decorated absolutely nothing yet. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking just rock work for the first part, and then of course decorate inside this building like it was a house or something, or whatever. So yeah, I'll be back with you when I've finished. Alright, quite a lot has happened since the last clip. Basically, it's so hot right now. I'm in my room. I do not have a thermometer, but it's 37 degrees outside, and that feels much cooler. Like when I step outside, it feels like nice and breezy. That's how hot it is in my room right now. Basically just don't live directly under the roof. That's just a bad idea in general. But that's why I've just been very hot and just been working and not feeling like recording anything. So as you can see, the list has been, well, almost cleared by now. So I'll show you what I've done. So some things that make a huge impact. Here, the trench walls are now in, including this bridge. It could do with quite a few pipes, but I'll come to that. Here are some rocks. I've added a fence over here. Of course, there's now a building over the queue. I was still decorating that, but I've kind of run out of inspiration. Then you have, of course, here this bridge, and here a walkway. This finally connects up all now. And of course here there's also rocks. A lot of backstage roofing, so roofing the guests don't get to see, including all sorts of pipes and airco. It's nothing crazy, but I mean it's there now, at least. Let's see, what else have we done? Oh yeah, I've also, well, finish is a very, very big word, but really started work on the tunnel that leads in here, but there are some rough edges and it's really hard to do. Like, the geometry of it just doesn't really work. Also, of course, the station building needed a little bit of a facade. In here, I can't do anything because the coaster is too close, but I can do it here, and that's the only part you're gonna see. I still, of course, need to do the supports in here. I need to cover up this just blank wall because that looks kind of ugly. And I think that is about it for what we have done so far. Today it's Saturday. It's currently 4:30, but I'm gonna have to leave for the rest of the day, and I'll come back fairly late at Sunday evening. And the deadline is actually Sunday at midnight, not Monday at midnight, Sunday at midnight. So yeah, the deadline is August 10th, but it's kind of midnight August 9th, kinda. However, I have a big advantage, or well, not actually an advantage, but like in terms of my schedule, that, you know, normally I would have like 2 hours to work left when I came home. However, I am in a way different time zone than Canada is, which means the project has to be submitted, for me at least, Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning, which means I'm gonna have to put an all-nighter on Sunday. Doesn't matter. I won't be recording a lot of progress, I think, because, you know, roommates and all, and just, you know, recording in the middle of the night tends to get on people's nerves. So yeah, that is something I probably won't be doing too much. And well, I think the next clip will be me just going over the completed park and handing it in. So well, before we get to that, I wanna just thank everybody who has been following the series. The support has grown so much. The channel has grown, support has grown. I think I have also grown. This is also the first project I have ever completely finished. When it is finished, it isn't yet, so technically, you know, still the game could crash or something, or, you know, my computer could explode. But let's knock on wood. There we go. This will be the first project I ever finish, and well, it's been an awesome experience. So well, let's skip to the end of the contest, I guess. I really expected to be working till 3 in the morning. Laat me dat even anders doen. Okay. 3 in the morning. 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 3 in the I really expected to be working till 3 in the morning or so, then handing it in and having kind of a short night. I did not expect to be working till 8 in the morning. But I think I've done it. And I am so happy with how this all turned out. So at first glance maybe there's not too much different, but I've added some backstage walls in here. I have finished the subway tunnel, but not in the way I said I would, because it just didn't work. It was, I believe, impossible the way I wanted it to make, unless I was like gonna use like wooden brackets and use 100,000 of them or something like that, which I just didn't feel like doing. I have added in a ton of rocks for all buildings that were previously floating. Of course, all the lighting in here is different. I have finished up the station roof. As you can see from the inside, it looks pretty good. From the outside, maybe not so much, but it was the only piece that was really usable for this. In here I have also added a chandelier. Let's see, let's put it actually in daylight. There you go, I've added in a chandelier. Yeah, just all sorts of small improvements. And it's just, this has been such a rewarding project to do. And well, this is finally the end result. So now actually comes the task I've been... Oh wait, let me first show you the inside of this cube. It looks alright today, but I've instructed Johnny when I handed it in to, when you go inside, put it to night. So as you can see, I've added in a lot of pipes and just gears and all. I didn't do the back wall, neither of them actually, because well, it was just so late and I was literally beginning to feel dizzy because of how tired I was. So yeah, I didn't do that, but I did, you know, finish up this wall over here. I added in a little walkway over there with some supports that you go under with the coaster, which I thought was kind of cool. Added in a rock facade over here. I have transformed this tunnel so that it looks good. Oh, there's still a gap. Oh well. So that looks good. And well, I think that's it. Now comes the task that I've been staring at, or not really been staring at, that I've, you know, I knew I was gonna have to do, but I've always, you know, said, well, I'll get there when I get there. But now I finally got there, and that is, I have to port this entire park. It's over 68,000 pieces in the mega park. I'm not gonna do this episode. Next week is gonna be the cinematic overview. It's gonna be the POV. It's gonna be the, you know, everything really. It's just gonna be basically one big showcase of the park. And sometime around that time is also when Johnny should be coming to the park. By the way, there's been 71 entries in my bracket, which is the builder bracket for this contest, which is insane. You know, last contest there were 72 entrances in total. Entrances? No, it's entries. Entrances is something completely different. There were 72 entries in total, and now there's 71 in my bracket only. So yeah, it's gonna take quite a bit of time for Johnny to get to my park, since I was one of the latest to hand it in my bracket. And before me there's the beginner bracket, which also had like 50 or 60 entries. So it could easily take a month or so before this park gets featured on the channel. So my cinematic overview is actually going to be the first one to go online. So if you want to see how this all looked at the end, please subscribe, because it's coming up on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And I think that is it for this episode. So, well, this is actually a monumental leap forward for me. This is the first time I've finished a project that's even remotely close to this scale. So yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm so happy. The POV looks absolutely epic, but yet again, not gonna show it right now. I'm gonna leave it for next episode, so subscribe if you want to see it. And well, I guess I will see you guys in the next episode, and I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks, because next episode is not gonna be any voice over, since it's all gonna be cinematic and POV. So thank you guys so much for the support, thank you guys so much for watching, it's been amazing. I'm over the moon. I'm gonna finish up the editing right now and make sure this video gets out on time. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and goodbye.